And I'll say we had a conversation more than a month ago at this point, Melissa, and you asked me to do a workshop on belonging. And I spent a while thinking about what a workshop on belonging could look like, and decided that a thing that I would love to talk about is how to figure out what it means to belong somewhere, what traits of a place or a social group make you feel like you belong in that place, and then how to find something like that. So the first thing that I'm going to ask everyone to do, and we're going to be using the chat function a whole bunch, and we're going to be using something called a Google Jamboard. So if you haven't used that, it's a cool program. It's part of the Google suite, and it allows us to like collaborate on a whiteboard thing together. So the first thing that I'm going to ask folks to do, and I'll read things aloud, is put in the chat, what does it mean to you to belong somewhere? What does belonging mean to you? You can phrase that sentence however you want. But what does it mean to you to belong somewhere? Or what does belonging mean? Well, what a time to vanish. Sorry about that. My internet is not the happiest. I may have missed a couple of things that went into the chat when my computer froze. I see Hanaja wrote, to feel wanted and accepted. Can someone whose computer didn't suddenly lose internet for a second read out some of the other answers that were in the chat other than that?
So, Galia, are you still there?
I am here now.
All right, so what I'm seeing is to fit in, to feel safe and comfortable with who you are with or at, feeling wanted, to feel safe in a group, to feel comfortable and accepted enough to share how you feel and what you think, and then the comment that you read, to feel wanted and accepted.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Adrienne. I'll just give folks another couple seconds in case anybody else has an answer on what does it mean to belong somewhere, or what does belonging mean? So I love all the answers that we've gotten so far, and I love to hear that they have a lot to do with your emotions, how you feel in a place, and how that place makes you feel safe or able to be yourself, to be wanted. I really love that a lot of these answers are sort of circling around the same concept, to find a place where you feel comfortable to be yourself. So what we are going to do now is we are essentially going to build a picture of what a place that makes you feel like you belong can look like. So I'm going to put into the chat something called a link to something called a Google Jamboard, and everyone has editing permissions for this. All you need to do is click on the link, and there are 3 questions that you are going to get to go through, and we're going to go through them together one at a time. I'll read you those questions now, I'll send you the link, and then I'll read them again. The 3 questions that I'm going to ask folks to share is, what makes you feel safe? What are traits of people you want to surround yourself with? And what kind of support do you need to accomplish a goal? And this is a totally anonymous thing, an anonymous program. So whatever you put on the Jamboard using the sticky note function, no one will know that you're the one that wrote it. So here is our link. I'm going to ask everyone to jump into this Jamboard and click over to the first, or you should have arrived on the first slide. I see some folks are jumping in. This is fantastic. If you are on mobile, it's possible that you might have difficulty accessing Jamboard if you've never used it before. If that is the case, you can private message me something. It doesn't let you go online. You have to download the app. Rats, that isn't what happened to me last night when I tested it, but I'm sorry to hear that. If it is not letting you download or if it's not letting you access the link, it's not letting you use the browser. If you want to private message me any of the answers, then you can, then I'll put them on the sticky notes instead. And when we get to the screen sharing portion, everyone will see what the answers are. So folks are going to look on that first slide, and the question is, what makes you feel safe? And the instruction is, use the sticky note function and write one or more things that make you feel safe. If you don't want to use the sticky note function, you can also use the text box, but the sticky note is kind of fun. Yes, I can absolutely put the link in the chat again. Thank you so much for asking. So again, if your phone is asking you to download the app, I'm sorry, it didn't make me do that last night. I guess everyone's phone might be different, but you can private message me the answer to what makes you feel safe, and I will put that onto a sticky note for you. Fantastic. Thanks to those who are private messaging me. I love it. I see some really good answers showing up. This is fantastic. All the sticky notes appear in one spot, which is a little bit funny. Amazing. I love these answers that are popping up, and we will go through all of them together because we are going to be sort of using everyone's answers for the next part of this project. I like the people that are seeing that you can angle the sticky notes to make them look more like real sticky notes. Fantastic. I love these. Typing in some of the ones that people are private messaging me, or rather, I'm typing in all the ones that people are private messaging me. Fantastic. So good, people are still doing this. This is amazing. They're still popping up. This is so great. We have so many answers on this board. What makes you feel safe? And again, those who can't access it right now, there will be screen sharing soon and you will be able to see it. And I see a couple people have popped in, maybe because of connectivity issues, but I'm going to reshare the link and just say one more time, what we are doing is we are going to the first page on this Jamboard and answering the question, what makes you feel safe? Wonderful. All right, more people are private messaging me. This is great. Thank you all so, so much. Wonderful. We are going to move on to our second slide now, but if you are still sharing, if you're still adding things to the first slide, that is so okay. We're going to get back to each of these. So again, that first slide question is, what makes you feel safe? And I'm going to ask people now to move to the second slide. The question on the second slide, oh, people have already jumped on this. I love it. What are some traits of people you want to surround yourself with? And just like on the first one, we're going to use the sticky note function and write one or more traits of people that you want to surround yourself with. And if you can't access the Jamboard on your phone, You can private message me the answer to that, your answer to that, and I'll put it on the whiteboard. What are traits of people that you want to surround yourself with? And I'm loving these answers as they're coming up. We're going to share them as a group. This is so exciting. I really love how thoughtful you guys are being about this. Amazing. And I'm getting some answers private message to me, which is exactly what I wanted. Thank you so much. And you can define this however you want. I just got asked a question. How do you want to define traits? However you want to do that. I'm seeing some really great overlaps, which is really fantastic. Cool, more people are private messaging me. You guys are right on the nose about how we want to do this. Wonderful. And again, feel free to continue to fill this in or to continue to private message me any of the answers to what are some traits of people that you want to surround yourselves with. Fantastic. And on this vein, we're going to move on to the third page, which some people again have already jumped on a bit quick. I love it. What kind of support do you need to accomplish a goal? So again, you can use the sticky note function and you can do as many of them as you want. You can private message me. The question is, what kind of support do you need to accomplish a goal? I am loving these answers as they pop up. I'm not being sarcastic or hyperbolic. I'm so excited about this. Great, and I'm getting some private messages again, which is perfect. What kind of support do you need to accomplish a goal? And I'll tell you, I really love when something happens in a workshop that I sort of expected in advance. And that's that this one is filling up a little bit more slowly. This one takes a little bit more thinking about a goal you have accomplished in the past and what support got you there. You could think about places and what you might have needed to succeed at those times. Wonderful. Ooh, I've got another one private message to me. That's perfect. Again, if you can't access the app, if you're one of the folks for whom the link on mobile, and I'll share this again, is asking you to download an app for some reason, you can private message me the answer to the third question. What kind of support do you need to accomplish a goal? Amazing. All right, this is fantastic. Thank you so much. Melissa, at this time, just again, because my internet is a little chancy, let's not go too far into the realm of hoping here. Would you screen share the first slide of our Jamboard, the one that asks you, what makes you feel safe? And what I'm going to need for folks to do here is you're going to need to grab a pencil and paper or a pen. You could also open up a note app on your phone if you want, or like write on the back of an envelope or something. But we are going to be taking some personal notes on the content that we are seeing here. So I'm going to read these out loud, and then I will tell you what we are going to do with these. So the question is, what makes you feel safe? And the answers that I see, and I'll read them in case you can't see the screen share right now, are friends, my dogs and our alarm system, a big hug. What makes me feel safe is music and my family, sense of community and a support system, trustworthy people, affection, family, comforting words, being around multiple people, some good extroversion communication there, people who actually listen to me and not make it seem like I'm the problem, comfort and noticeable love, family, feeling loved, being in my room makes me feel safe, being surrounded with people who support me, no yelling in anger, knowing that I can trust who is around me, knowing that I'm in a judgment-free place, assurance and when people listen to me. My room makes me feel safe because I'm alone in a place I'm comfortable, and being able to express my feelings without judgment. What I'm going to ask folks to do is pick 3 of these that resonate with you. One might be your own. Pick 3 of these that resonate with you, that you also feel like you need these things to feel safe, and write them down on your piece of paper or in your note app or in a Word document or a private Discord message to yourself. However you take notes, write down 3 of these that resonate to you. And I will give folks a minute to do that. I will explain while folks are doing that. The activity that we are doing right now is formally called a values clarification exercise. It was one of my favorite things to do during grad school. And what we are hopefully going to accomplish by doing this together is finding the qualities of belonging for each of you. And we're going to do this in this collaborative way. So again, you're going to pick 3 of these and write them down. I'll give folks another minute to do that. Apologies if that extremely loud bird is coming through the microphone. I'm ostensibly on vacation and the birds have not gotten the memo that I'm working today. All right, fantastic. Melissa, will you click us to the next Jamboard slide, or next whiteboard? Fantastic. This one is asking, what are some traits of people that you want to surround yourself with? I'll read these out loud just like the last time. And just like the last time, you are going to write down 3 of them. We've got supportive, people who are caring, kind, funny, people who give you advice and want the best for you, people who are honest, loyalty, honesty, and comforting. We've got empathy, caring, honest, people who make money and are not lazy, an observer, positive, honest, trustworthy, positive people, funny people. I'm really loving these overlaps. People who encourage you, motivate you, and push you to do better, acceptance, fun, family and friends, trustworthy, fun to be around, and doesn't leech off of you. Some good protection of personal energies there. I love it. Spending time thinking about their emotions. This one's a little small. Hold on, I'm going to see it. I'm going to look at it on the original screen because my vision is not the best. People who have good intentions, people who have a bright personality and make me feel important to them. Love it. Compassion, acceptance, honest, loyalty, dependable, trustworthy, has integrity, spending time thinking about their emotions, and people you can confide in. And just like last time, you are going to write down the 3 of these that most resonate with you. Which 3 of these do you want to surround yourself with? Which 3 traits here do you want to see people around you have? And I'll give everyone a minute or 2 to do that. Staying hydrated, so important. I'm not very good at it. If you haven't had any water to drink today, consider grabbing some water at some point this morning. It's really good for you. You can do 4, Yamina. Yes, if you can't narrow it down to 3, go for it. Absolutely. What's funny, Yamina, is you jumped the gun already on the next instruction, which I love. All right, and we are going to move to the 3rd slide. What kind of support do you need to accomplish a goal? So I'll ask the most kind and wonderful Melissa, thank you so much, to click us ahead. So here is what folks have answered, what kind of support they need to accomplish a goal. We have good listener, genuine advice and concern, motivation, telling me I can do it, letting me talk through my problems. We've got productive criticism, feedback and motivation, advice, suggestions, and believing in me, knowing that you'll always be by my side, and knowing I'll always be by yours. Oh, that's some really good reciprocal connection there. Room to make mistakes, help in areas where I'm weak. Oh, I love that one. I mean, I love all of these. Let me be clear. Advice, getting help, someone who believes in me, let me vent when I need to, knows when and how to tell me I'm wrong, feeling valued, honest opinions, forgiveness when I mess up, trust, honest, faithfulness, allowing me to be me, and staying by my side even if I'm acting crazy. Amazing. So everyone is going to write down 3 of these. What are the 3 kinds of support that you need to accomplish a goal? And the thing where Yamina excitedly jumped the gun is if you need a 4th from one of these, you can bring, because you've got 3 lists of 3, which is 9, you can make your list 10 if you want to. You can look at any of these 3 pages and pick a 10th one, a free option from one of these 3 of safety, traits of people you want to surround yourself with, and the help that you need to accomplish a goal. So when you are finished with your list should have 10 items on it. Does anyone have any questions on that? That we need 3, 3, 3, and 1 extra somewhere. These are so great. Once you have your list of 10, I would love to see a thumbs up in your video or the thumbs up react emoji. So I know that everyone has 10. Love it. Great. Yep, you can private message me or thumb up if you want. Put in the chat. All right, we're still going to give folks a little bit more time, which is great. While we're waiting, I'll say a fun thing. I went to a museum yesterday called the Wild Center here in upstate New York, and I got to see the evolution of fish and fungi and forest bugs, and some of that was pretty gross and some of that was pretty cool. There were like bones. There was an exhibit full of maggots eating some dead animals, which was gross and cool at the same time. And there was an otter having a lot of fun and spinning in circles. So that was the highlight of my week. Maybe not the maggots, but definitely the otter. All right, I'll ask one more time. If you have finished making your list of 10, give me a thumbs up, emoji react, or in the chat. Let me see that you have finished all 10. Great, great, great. All right, looks like I will give folks one more minute. Do finish up, please, and thank you. We got 20 more minutes, and I want to make sure we get to our discussion portion. All right. What we are going to do now with our list of 10, read them over, make sure you know what these 10 things are, these 10 things that will promote a sense of belonging. We love all 10 of these. We picked them. We worked hard. You are all going to hate me at the end of this conversation. I need you to cross one of them out. Which one of these, of the 10, is the least important for you? I need you to cross one out so you are down to 9. And if you want, you can share what you crossed out in the chat box. And the reason I like this part of the workshop is it lets us see how we all have slightly different values. So we are going to cross one of our items off and bring it down to 9. Fantastic. Look over your list, look over your 9 items, and you may have guessed in advance, I'm going to ask you to cross another one off. Which of these 9 is the least important to you? Which of these 9 do you think you can maybe do without? All right, we are down to 8. And we're going to do this one more time. Which of these 8 can you do without? Yes, absolutely. Someone asked, can I repeat that? We are taking our list of 10. We started at 10 items that foster a sense of belonging in ourselves. And then I asked, at this point, I've asked you to cross 3 of them off. And I know it's hard. You just spent so much time making this list of 10, but now you are crossing 3 of them off. The 3 that are less important to you than the others. So you will be left with the 7 most important items. And what I'm going to ask now is, what did it feel like? What was it like to cross 3 of those items off? You can either unmute or put it in the chat. What did it feel like to cross those 3 items out? Was it easy? Was it hard? Was it frustrating? Someone private messaged me and said it was kind of hard. Yeah. Melissa said, many of mine overlapped, so it wasn't that hard. Melina said, I'm still conflicted. Yeah, trying to figure out which ones to get rid of. Himina said, I don't know, it felt like I was having a panic attack. Someone said it was frustrating. Yeah. So I'm about to make this a smidge harder. This is the last time, I promise. Someone said it was difficult because I needed them all. I'm about to make it more difficult, my friends. I need you to cross off 2 more. You are going to be left with a list of 5. It's going to take some time. I know it's tough. I remember doing a very similar activity and like wanting to yell at my professor, like, what are you talking about? I can't cross off any more of these. I need all of them. It's really hard. What was it like to cross off 2 more? Melissa said, that was hard with an exclamation point. I know it is. I'm not asking you to do this for my own amusement, I promise. I'm not just sitting here excited that everyone's having a tough time. Ooh, I love this answer. Yamina said, the ones I crossed off, I can just teach them how to do. You'll bring those along with you. I love it. Some really good self-sufficiency. Beautiful. We are now left. Ooh, I love this. Kayla said, I don't appreciate compromising my values. What an astute observation. That's so, so great. Leah said it was hard. Any other thoughts? What was it like to take your list of 10 that you spent a bunch of time on and cross it down to 5? Now, I'm not going to do this, but how would you feel if I asked you to cross it down to 3? What emotions would you have if I was like, now get rid of 2 more? I maybe see someone giving like a shaking thumbs down. Melissa said, I'm not doing that. That's so fair. How do other people think they would feel if I asked you to cross off 2 more? Melina said, I would feel like I'm lying to myself in a way. Someone said, I would be aggravated. Kayla said, I would feel like you're a sadist, honestly. It's fair. I don't even know, says Yamina. Absolutely. So what this activity did was twofold. One, it let us focus on the things that we know are important to us, are most important to us. And 2, it gave us an example of how it feels when we have to, exactly as some folks said, we have to compromise ourselves. When we find ourselves in a location, whether it's a job or a social circle, where we don't belong, where we feel like we don't belong, where we have to compromise our values, where we have to pretend to be someone we're not, or we don't get supported in the way that we need to be supported. So what everyone is welcome to do is, if you liked your original list of 10, feel free to keep it. I'm not telling you have to throw away those first 5 things forever, but the 5 things that you landed on are things that I want you to focus on and keep in mind for the next 15 minutes of our discussion as we talk about how to find somewhere where you belong, where you feel like you belong. So what I'm going to ask folks to do is brainstorm in the chat here places where you might feel like you belong. Some examples are school, some examples are a job or a social circle or a religious organization. So I'm going to ask folks to put in the chat, where are places where someone might find belonging? Oh, I love this. My room, home, mock trial. I loved mock trial. My grandma's house. Where are some places where someone could feel belonging? We've got church with my friend. I'll put mine in here. My synagogue. That's where I really feel like I belong. Someone said, I feel like I belong in ROTC, my house, school, work. That's so many places. That's great. Any place where I can prove myself in a competitive setting. My church Zoom group, work. What are some other places where someone might feel a sense of belonging? The bathroom, sure. Maybe a sense of privacy or a sense of getting to take care of your body. Someone said, wherever my friends are. I'll put one more on the list here. People who have the same marginalized identity to you. I missed the word same somehow. People with the same marginalized identity to you. School organizations. Absolutely. What are some others? Let's try to get a couple more. Where are places a person could feel belonging? TikTok, sure. There's some really great social media like communities. With family, Yamina, yours reminded me that a place where I feel a lot of belonging is my Discord server. I'm on a Discord server with a bunch of other people who are nerdy in the same ways that I am nerdy and are queer in similar ways to me. And I feel like I belong there. Amazing. Ugh, what a great list. So these are all places where someone might feel a sense of belonging, but they're also places, oh, I love this. Melissa said here. Feel warm and fuzzy now, Melissa. These are also places where you might not feel like you belong entirely. We had that really tough experience where we took that list of 10 factors of belonging and crossed it down to 9, 8. We got all the way down to 5. I would love to ask folks, and again, you can unmute or you could put in the chat, what is it? No, let me rephrase that sentence to myself. What feelings would you have if you walked into your house or your church or your school and you didn't get all of your list needs met? What would it feel like if you didn't have all of those things, whether it's because we crossed off those 5 or even you don't fulfill all 5 items? How do you feel when you're somewhere and you don't get everything you need? Someone said unsafe. I would feel like I don't need to be there. Not complete, uncomfortable, anxious. Absolutely. I've got a lot of problems with anxiety, so I really hear that one, Yamina. Stressed, someone said. Neutral, to be honest, kind of just there. Yeah. Unwelcome. I would want to leave. Absolutely. If you walk in somewhere and they don't have everything you need to feel like you belong, why are you there? Now, the answer might be because they're paying you to be there, or the law says you have to go to school until you reach a certain age. There's some places we have to be. But it can be helpful to identify when you don't feel like you belong. And it can be helpful to identify when you really do feel like you belong. There are a lot of people whose job is what they love. They walk into their job, they feel like they belong, it's fulfilling to them. There are other people who walk into a job and they're there to pay the bills. They do their job, they keep their head down, it doesn't feel like a great fit to them, and then they go home to the place where they really feel like they belong. Now, the point of this great summer work readiness program is that you want to find somewhere that you belong. You want to find a job or a school where you definitely feel like you belong. And also, it's worth knowing how to identify the feeling of not belonging. I have walked into places and felt anxious and uncomfortable, and I didn't know why. And since doing activities like this, sometimes I can walk into a space and go, all right, this isn't quite the right fit for me. Oh, this is great. Someone said, this is so good. You always show up. I love that. And then I got another comment that said, I would feel like I'm interrupting and invading other people's happy place. What an astute comment. I'll give a personal example. I work with a lot of synagogues. I work teaching about LGBTQ identities to Jewish organizations. And some of them I walk in and I'm like, they don't really want all of me here. They wish maybe that a straight person were teaching them this lesson and me with like my side shave and my butch fashion. They're not super stoked to have me here. And so with those synagogues, sometimes like I do my job with them, we shake hands and I leave, and that's all they want from me. And other synagogues, I walk in and I can see that they welcome me, Galia, the person that I am. And those are the synagogues that I share a really long relationship with, and I help them over and over again, and they reach out to me over and over again. We really want to find that place where we click. So what can we do if we walk into a space and we don't feel like we belong there? What are some of the options that we have if we walk into a space or come into it virtually and we feel like we don't belong? First answer, leave. Fantastic. Yep, more people saying leave. Got a couple private messages that say that also. Try to speak out about it. Advocate for what I need. Just got a really nice comment about myself. That makes me feel good. That makes me feel like I belong. What are some other things that we can do if we are in a space and we feel like we don't belong? Forgive me, I can't remember who said it earlier, but one person said, I can teach people to do the things that I need them to do. If you walk into a space and you don't feel like you belong, maybe because you need a certain kind of communication to be understood, or you need a level of honesty, you can teach the people around you how to respect you in the ways that you need to be respected. By the way, this works in relationships too. If you meet someone and you like them, but you don't quite click, you don't necessarily have to give up. You can try to advocate for yourself and teach them how you want to communicate. One person said you can express yourself, bring a stress ball or something that can distract you. Someone said you can communicate with someone. Oh, fantastic. These are so great. And what's going to be really important, and this is sort of our last topic as we wind down in our time, is how to find out if it is a place, if you walk in somewhere and you feel like you don't belong, how to make the decision of, do I leave or do I try to change this? The third option is like, you stay and you're just kind of miserable, but let's not focus on that one. I don't like it very much. I would love for no one to have to be stuck somewhere they're miserable. Oh, I love this. Melissa says, find someone who's more like me there. Fantastic. I'll say option number one, when we're looking at whether we want to leave or whether we want to change it, is, do you have to be there? Is it like school where you are mandated to go? Is it a job that you absolutely need to pay the bills and you just have to be there? See what you can do to change it. If you're gonna be there anyway, what can you do to make yourself happier? And we talked about this. We talked about this throughout the list. One person said, try to change it. Absolutely. You can talk to a manager. You can talk to a teacher or your counselor. You can stick closer to your friends and have people to talk to and vent with afterwards to relieve your frustrated feelings and find the things that make you happy. What are some other things you can try to do to change it? How can you make somewhere a place that you belong? I'll say one of the things that I have done throughout my life, I'm 30, it's a pretty cool age, is I have just dove head first into being fully myself. It used to be that I'd, try to look really girly sometimes or try to fit in places and be who they expected me to be. And I learned that I'd much rather be who I'm comfortable as, and people will actually like it. It seems surprising. People are like, hey, Galia, cool haircut. Yeah, Melissa said, be the change that you want to see. If you want to feel like you belong somewhere, act like you belong, and people will respond accordingly. Be honest. Be clear about your expectations. Talk about your needs. Ooh, someone said, find people who look like they can understand or make you feel like you belong, make you feel belong. Exactly. Get yourself an advocate. Get yourself a buddy. Have someone to connect with. And if they don't respond, then maybe it's time to leave. Exactly, Melissa. Like, if it's not somewhere you're stuck, if you are in a job where you don't feel like you belong, if you decide to go to college and you don't feel like you belong, you can leave. It's really hard to get that through our heads. Honestly, I just read a really long Twitter thread about that yesterday, about feeling like you can go. If you're at a sleepover with a friend and you're miserable, you can leave. You don't have to pretend that it's fine. You can be like, hey, I'm not having a good time. I want to go. If you're at a job and you aren't happy there, if you don't feel like you fit in, if you have to hide part of yourself to be there, you can leave. It might take some help. You might need to reach out to a guidance counselor and say, this program isn't working for me. I want to transfer schools. You might need to reach out to JFCS or an organization like JEVS and say, I need help finding a new job. This one isn't working for me. If you don't belong somewhere, if you cannot change that organization or that school to fit you, you can go. You are not stuck in your life. I love it, except that you're not going to fit in everywhere. Everyone in this Zoom room now has a list of 5 things that you need to feel like you belong somewhere. We started with 10, we knocked it down to 5. It was hard and you were all angry about it. Your ideal place has all 10 of those. I have found places in my life where all 10 things on my list have been matched, have been met, and it's incredible. If you are somewhere and it doesn't even hit your 5 core points of belonging, that's not a place where you belong then. Find a place that is the right fit for you. Make a place that's the right fit for you. Be an entrepreneur. Start your own job. Find some cool certification program that meets your goals and does not make you feel like you don't belong. I would love for all of you to take that list of 5 things, save it on your notes app, send it to yourself in an email, pin it up on your bulletin board. And when you are somewhere new, try to find a way to meet all 5 of the items on your list. If you meet all 10, send me an email. I will be excited for you. I will send you back so many emojis. If you find places in your life that meet all 10 items, incredible. Don't work anywhere that doesn't have 5. Don't go to school somewhere that doesn't have 5. I love this. Someone said, if people don't make you feel like you belong, make yourself feel belong. I love that. Absolutely. Sometimes it's fake it till you make it. That's how I felt as an educator. When I started teaching, I was like, this is terrible. I don't belong here. I'm a faker. Fake it till you make it. Now I'm pretty confident. It takes some time. My friends, that is our time today. Thank you so much for participating in our values clarification exercise and for making our hard choices to get our lists down to 5 and for talking together about how to find places in your life where you belong. I really appreciate getting to have this conversation with you guys.